Hi, it's Sherry, and welcome to the kitchen. This is number 2 in the videos for the new cooks, and I don't have an apron on because I'm still not cooking anything, because one of the very basic things that I wanted to share with you is how to find the recipes. You know, I mentioned in the introduction videos that you needed a good recipe, basic recipes. My favorites are the tried and true recipes, you know, something that you've tasted, your grandma's potato salad or your mom's mashed potatoes, something like that, that you know is great, as opposed to going out blindly and buying a cookbook or just going to a blog or even on Pinterest and something that looks really appealing, and then you try to make it and you're like, oh, failed, this didn't quite work. So these are just a few tips of mine. Pinterest is a great place, but I have tried some things on there that I wasn't really thrilled with. Online, one of my very favorites is allrecipes.com. It's just ALL recipes.com. That's a great place that I find some new ones to try, because it has a lot of reviews on there, so you can see people saying, well, I cooked mine a little longer, or there was too much flour, I added less, or it needed more sugar or something like that. So it kind of gives you some tips that way. Of course, my own blog would be tried and true recipes at moderationrecipes.blogspot.com, or you can just Google everything in moderation recipes, and it should get you to the site also, because those I have made and they're tried and true. Another thing, let me see if I can get these. This is like, this is probably showing backwards for you, but Coal Country Cooking. This is, our West Frankfort has a festival every year, the Old King Cole Festival. And several years ago, I helped put together this cookbook that we sold as a fundraiser, and it turned out helping the festival. And then some of my favorite recipes have come from that also, because it's people who have made these recipes and you know, they like them and they shared their very best, and then I've gone on to make some of them, and it's been great. One of my favorites, which is on my blog, I don't know if you can see it backwards, possibly, spicy cheeseburger soup, and that's from my very good childhood friend Kim Taylor, who passed away, but I have that wonderful keepsake, and every single time I make that soup, I think of her, and I can offer up a prayer for her family. She left a wonderful legacy, not just in recipes, of course. That was the least of what she did, but I enjoy it, and it makes me think of her every time. So that's a great source. I also have another one here from the school, Frankfort Intermediate School. This was a few years ago, a school here in West Frankfort, and the kids and their parents submitted their favorite recipes. That's a good place to look. Also, if you're ever at a place that sells cookbooks in a restaurant that you enjoy, I mean, it would make sense to buy them. One of my favorite restaurants was the Court Street Tea Room in Marion, and it has since closed, but the owner made a cookbook, which was fantastic idea, because her most requested recipes are in here, and I make some of those. I've only made maybe 3 or 4, but I do her strawberry butter, which is just out of this world, and some real unique ingredients in there that I would have never guessed on my own, so that's really cool. Or then you can go with this one says the Recipe Hall of Fame Cookbook. These are simple recipes that, again, they've been tried and they're sharing their best with you, and they're fairly simple. Crock pot recipes are really easy. That's great for a beginning cook. And then if you're like me, I really enjoy Paula Deen recipes, so it would make sense that I would purchase books or even go to her website to get recipes to share with my own family or whatever, and you know, just try to do something similar. Sometimes I change hers up a little bit, but I love it. Then this one's a little more advanced, this Williams-Sonoma Weeknight Fresh and Fast. And as much as I love the Paula Deen heavy butter cream, oh gosh, butter and cream, don't get me started, I love it. But I still like to eat a lot of fresh foods and things like that. I'm a cheese lover, a pasta lover, a bread lover. Sadly, I love carbs, and it shows. But hey, you know, everything in moderation, and I'm still working on the moderation. Some days I'm good, some days I'm not so good. Anyway, but that's just a tip on how to find your favorite recipes. If you're at a place, I've even asked at restaurants before that I enjoyed something that I could tell they had made themselves, not just bought it in a package and heated it up for their customers. But I've asked for the recipe and they've actually shared it with me. So that's, you may be surprised. Or if you're at a church function or something at the school, ask someone. Normally people are very flattered when you ask for one of their recipes. So give that a try also. But if you know, you have no other place to go, check out my blog. And again, just Google everything in moderation recipes and see where it leads you. And there's a sidebar on the blog, and it has a lot of photos of, it's not everything on the blog, but you can kind of get there. Most of them are pretty simple. I try to keep it simple on there. And but what I'm asking you today, if you have any questions, like if you want to know how to do something, or like a particular, do I have a recipe for this or that? Most likely I do, and I would love to help answer your questions. Anything to give you a little more, I just want you to have that desire to cook and to try more things, and even to just get started in some cases. So let me know, give me questions or comments or anything like that. I'll try to help you out. Thanks.